probably already discovered, if you've ever thought about buying a house, or you're in the process, or you've even bought your first or second house, that there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, that your well-being is about more than just qualifying for the mortgage. There is so many details to consider, and we're going to ask Suzan Hart to ask us some questions in this next segment that will help us go deep on that, so that you can know that you don't have to stress out. You can just stretch a little through the process and get the home of your dreams.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
And so we're going to welcome you to another episode. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And I am Suzan Hart.
And we're going to get to explore some techniques, thoughts, tips, and tools that we all need. We all deserve, you, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, we live the best life possible, and oh yeah, we build wealth wisely through real estate, because that's the foundation.
So, it is said that, well, I know buying a home is probably the biggest investment most families and individuals make.
Yes.
One of the things, as I've gotten to know you, I realize you spend a lot of time looking at is this family, is this couple, or is this individual truly in a financial position to purchase this home? And I'm not talking purchase it in that the bank says you're good, but in how it affects the entirety of their life. Why is that so important to the two of you?
Without taking into consideration the bigger picture, I think what we're talking to here is the bigger vitality, the well-being.
Yeah.
If I can afford it, but I don't have peace of mind, then can I actually afford it? Can the relationship sustain this blow?
I love that. So if I don't have peace of mind, can I actually afford it? Are you hearing that? That is so good.
Like, we just had a really awesome client that we spent about a year helping them find a home. And they could qualify for a mortgage and buy without selling. There was no qualms. Financially, we had that all cleaned out and organized at the beginning. He had loads of peace of mind to do it. She had no peace of mind.
Ooh, what do you do in that situation?
Well, you don't do it.
Okay.
Right? Like, you wait, either the person comes alongside or you find a different strategy and a different way to do it. And boy, did they have to follow their guide for a year. We ended up with the house of their dreams at the end. They're moving in a few days. They're super excited, but they had to say goodbye to that dream 3 times before we actually got a yes to that dream.
Wow.
And all along they could afford it, but there was no vitality for her.
So talk a little bit about what you mean by vitality for her.
She was stressed out, freaked out, and beyond herself at the thought of purchasing a home without selling theirs first, even if they could afford it.
So most people would say, so get past it, get over it. This is the house, you can afford it. Why is waiting so key?
Because it was for her. It was understanding her motivation, her ability to sleep well at night. And I asked her some of those questions, like, what's going to happen? I mean, the difference between your house selling and not selling is only a few tens of thousands of dollars. So I can assure you that your home is going to sell in a timeline that you can buy this other house. So I'm not at all worried. But she couldn't get peace past that based on her history and her life experience and her childhood and what she'd seen and what she'd experienced. So we honor her, not by convincing her she's wrong, but by working with what works for her.
It's kind of like leave no man or woman behind. Like if we do a lot of marital counseling and partnership counseling when it comes to buying or selling a house, because partners are not always aligned. And we're looking for that alignment because the vitality of the relationship is at hand. The vitality of their emotions. Stress is huge in buying or selling a home.
Regardless.
It adds a lot of stress. And we attempt to by having processes in place to help people and guide them step by step by step. So we're holding their hand, make sure it goes well. The important thing to know is sometimes people have to make a decision even when they're not emotionally sound. Like we look at, do you have the emotional bandwidth to make this move right now, to renovate that house that you're looking at? Those are the kind of conversations we're going to have. But if someone, there's been death in the family, which adds another stress, or divorce in the family, or sickness, or financial hardship, sometimes those people have to make a decision to sell or to buy something different, whether they're in the position emotionally to do it or not. And that's when we come alongside, because we know their personal situation and we attempt to guide them in the best way possible for them. We know that vitality has been important. We've lived where we've been financially stressed and it put stress on our marriage. We've lived where our health wasn't the greatest, right? When your health is in sickness, then usually your finances start suffering too. And so it's all connected. So getting a home that creates an atmosphere where people can be as vital. When we say vital, we mean like healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's our goal.
Now, as I'm listening, I would not say that that's the goal of most real estate agents. And I mean, that's been part of my experience. And I see so many people in homes and going through situations where they have a beautiful home, but if you look at life on the inside, it's not beautiful. So would you say that this is because of lived experience that you intimately know?
I start laughing right away. Of course, it's because of lived experience, right? Because our life has not always been what it is today. And we know what it is to have no vitality at home.
And I ask that because I truly believe that there's a difference when someone has lived something in the level of compassion and understanding that they have for the customer or the person on the other side of the table than if they didn't have that. So I really want to highlight that for everyone listening, that you know what it's like to be in that seat.
Yeah, this is like kind of exposing our hearts, right? If I can say it like that.
Yeah.
And we ask our clients to expose their hearts to us, because when they do that, we can actually help them better. That's part of the vitality piece.
Okay.
I just was rereading a thank you note from one of our clients, and they said, I love how you spent so much time with our teenage daughter, because she couldn't understand necessarily why we needed to do this, that we needed to do it now. And you bought her a special gift and you connected with her on every conversation. You just didn't deal with us.
So for everyone listening, when you say vitality, could you just list a few things? Like, I know, Ken, you went through it really quickly, but what are you guys looking for when you say vitality?
It's well-being. It's harmony. It's your living in harmony with your home. Your home should support your life, your lifestyle, and your well-being. And if your home's making you sick because it's got environmental issues, or your home's stressing you because it's too big or too expensive, like those,
or too much maintenance.
Those things, those are the kind of considerations that we're looking at.
So you're really talking about making a house a home.
Yeah.
I think we do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's the premise.
Yeah. Well, this has been beautiful, and I think we're just going to break for a moment, and we'll be right back.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.